Make some music. So we're going to start with Olam Chesed. We'll play it through two different keys. So starting in A minor, I know you all have been playing every week, but this is my first time picking up the ukulele in 2 weeks. So let's go through these chords quickly. We've got our A minor chord. We've got our G chord. We've got our F. We've got our C. So we are in either the key of C or in the key of A minor. They are the same key as each other. It's called the relative minor is the idea. We've talked about the 6 chord a lot, right? Where the 6 is the minor chord. So the 6 and the 1 tell you the name of the key. So C, D, E, F, G, A. So you can either call it a C major or an A minor, and it's the exact same key. It's just what note you start on when you're playing the scale. So we can describe this in either way. And in fact, you can see that the first line is in A minor and the second line is in C, right? In terms of what it uses at its home, as its home. So here we go. Let's get into a groove here. A minor. Okay, let's try that line together. A minor. Now we go to G. F. G. A minor. Again, A minor. Now we go to G. And F. And G. And A minor. Second line now, just goes to a C. C. Now G. F. G. A minor. C. Now go to G. F. G. A minor. Okay, just quick check-in. How'd that feel for everyone? Great. I'm a little out of tune. I'll tune up in a moment. Okay, let's try singing it here. Let's sing it together. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, and Olam Chesed Baji. Yida F, Yida G, Yida A minor. Olam Chesed Yibane G. Second line, here comes the C. Olam Chesed Yibane to F, Yida G, Yida A minor, and again back to C. C Lam Chesed Yibane G, F, G, and A minor. Okay, any notes or questions on that while I pull out my tuner and tune up my ukulele quickly? Any thoughts? We're going to go ahead and play it in the next key as well. Okay, let's go ahead and try this in our other key then. Sorry to keep you sitting there while I was tuning, but it'll spare your ears. Okay, so we're going to play this in the key of D minor now. D minor, which is also going to be the key of F. So F major or D minor. Again, it's the exact same math, right? The 1 and the 6. So the 1 is going to be your major. So F, G, A, B, C, D. So it's either the D minor or the F major. same key. Okay, so let's go ahead and just work on these chords here for a second, particularly because it has everyone's favorite chord, the B flat. So starting with our D minor chord. I quite like D minor. The feel of that chord is very much a home chord for me. I actually think that's the first chord Rabbi Randy taught me when he taught me guitar. It's an A minor on a guitar, but it's the same shape. Then we have our C. Now, probably just as a reminder, when I'm going from a D minor to a C, I'm going to play that C with my pinky finger rather than with my third finger. Normally, I would play that with my ring finger, but it's a lot easier to go to it with your pinky, right? And you can even play around with that pinky doing that while you're still playing the D minor, right? It's a little bit of dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Okay, we've got our B flat. Just as a reminder, if you're having trouble with the B flat, don't hold it flat. Push that uke away from you. Because you want to get that wrist angle. You want to get a break on that wrist angle so that your forearm, it's not quite parallel to the neck, but getting much closer. 30 degrees or something like that. More than 45. And we've got our F then. Okay, let's do these in order here in the first line. We've got D minor to the C, so we're going to move to the C with our pinky. Now we're going to move to the B flat. Now you don't need your pinky for the B flat, right? So it transitions nicely. And then we have our C. Now here I'll probably move to the C with my ring finger. And back to the D minor. Okay, any thoughts or questions or difficulties on that transition before we go ahead and play this? Okay, let's play. Here we go. Here we go from the top. D minor chesed yibasi. B flat goes to C, goes to D minor. D minor chesed yibasi. C goes to D minor. Now F. F lam chesed yibasi. B flat goes to C, goes to D minor. Do that second line again. F lam chesed yibasi. B flat goes to C, goes to D minor from the top. To C, goes to D minor. Oh, D minor chesed yibasi. B flat goes to C, goes to D minor. Now second line, F. F lam chesed yibasi. B flat goes to C, goes to D minor. Go ahead and do that again. Oh, F lam chesed yibasi. B flat goes to C, goes to D minor. Okay. Welcome, Grandma Judy. Glad to get you connected. Okay. Any thoughts? Anythings before we go on?
Great song. That's it. Just beautiful.
Daniel, the cop out for the B flat is once again what chord?
Oh, there are some keys where you can use a different chord for the B flat. There's probably not a fake one here.
Yeah, I think it was the E.
Okay, here, you know what, Ray? I say that, but let me give you a cop out for the B flat.
I'm going to continue to try the B flat, but
so go ahead for a moment and try to play your B flat, but instead of doing that doubling with the index finger, play it just on the second string so that this high string right here, what is that, the G, C. The A string rings out. So don't put anything down on the A string. So instead, it's just looking like, there you go. I think you can see it better that way. Just like that. So just have that first finger play on the E string, right there. It's not the same, but that's something that I will occasionally play on purpose. It gives it a slightly unsettled feel.
Yeah, my middle finger is a trigger finger. It just doesn't extend as much. So.
Oh, yep.
Will you show it again, Daniel? The cop out?
So go ahead and take, I'm going to talk you through it instead, okay? Go ahead and play a D minor chord for me for a second. You got that D minor going?
Yeah.
Okay, so while you've got your D minor, now go ahead and lift up your ring finger and lift up your middle finger. Move the middle finger down one string. So look at the screen for a second. Look what I do. Here's your D minor. I'm going to lift up the ring, and I'm going to move the middle finger down one string. And then we're going to take that ring finger, and we're just going to put it up there. So it's kind of stair step. In fact, it's the same chord as it's the same fingering positions as, what is this, your E minor chord? We're just putting it on different strings at different frets, right? Here's your E minor. And instead, I'm having it right there. Right there's the B flat, where I'm using both strings with that finger, my index finger. And here's this kind of weird B flat. What is it? I'm adding in a A.
Okay, I think I've got it.
I think that's technically a major seventh chord, maybe? A B flat major seventh. Okay, but yeah, absolutely try that out, and if that's easier, you can substitute that chord anywhere you play a B flat. And in fact, if you don't want it to sound, if you don't like that dissonance of the major seventh, you can even just kind of only do the top three strings.
Okay, gotcha.
But I think the dissonance usually works. It's not bad. Okay, let's play some more. Let's do this. Let's work on our strumming for a little bit. What do you say? Really sort of do that exercise we've been working on for the last few weeks I was with you all. Okay, we're not going to worry about the words here. We're just going to worry about the strumming. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got our F, we've got our C, we've got our A minor, and we've got our G. Okay, so just let's take a note about some music theory here for a second, just as a reminder to ourselves. We are really used to most of our songs starting with the one chord, right? Meaning that the first chord that it starts with is the one chord in our key. So if you looked at this, you would think that we are in the key of F, but we are not in the key of F. This is in the key of C. So we've got our C is the one chord. D, E, F becomes our four chord. The A minor, G, A is our six chord. And the G is our five chord. That made sense to everyone what I just said? So that our chord progression here is 4, 1, 6, 5. Which is quite unusual, right? We're not used to 4, 1, 6, 5. We're used to things starting with a 1. And often ending with a 1. And so that's part of what makes this a little more interesting to the ear, right? Particularly on a song like this where it's literally the same chords on a loop. By not having the one chord be the first chord, it just makes it a little less predictable to our ear and lets a chord progression sound a little different and a little more interesting. Okay.
Ask one question.
Yeah, please. Please, Linda. Yeah.
I just wondered, so if you were songwriting, would you say that you can begin with 1, 4, or 5, or you can begin with any chord that's in that circle of chords?
Yes. Here, let me.
I don't want to take us away. I just wanted to ask that.
No. I think this is a good question. Okay, so let me just show it to you here. I'm going to make myself go away, though, so you can just see this. Okay, so this is the order of the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't worry about 7. 7's actually a little different. It should technically be a diminished chord, but we play it as a 7th major chord. Okay, uppercase means that it is major. Lowercase means that it is minor. So Linda, you could take this and go ahead and write any song you wanted. All of these chords will work for you. So then all you do is you type in the chords to it, right? So you've got C, then it'll be D minor because it's lowercase, E minor, F, G, A, and it's actually going to be the flat, right? We're going to get a B flat there.
Wouldn't you get an A? Wouldn't that be an A minor?
Yeah, sorry. Yep. There you go.
And so can you start with any of those?
You can start with anything you want. Yeah, you pick your chord progression. You know, your ear is going to be a lot more comfortable starting with the 1 chord. But yeah, you can start with anything you want and create all sorts of combinations. And right, you can pick whatever key you want, and you write yourself out a little chart like this, and you're good to go. This is all based. Do you play any piano? Does anyone here play any piano? So if you play piano, right, the C scale is all the white notes with none of the black notes, right? So if you just go through and you set your, let me switch this back so you can see my hands. Right, like you just go on the piano and you set your fingers so that you're skipping a note in between, right? So you've got the 1, the 3, and the 5 like that, and you just play a chord and you keep going where you're playing it like that. These are going to be the chords you play. You put your thumb on the C, it's going to be a C major. You put your thumb on the D, it's going to be a D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor. So that's what you end up getting there, and it creates it like that.
Thank you.
And that's why the 7th should technically be actually a diminished chord, not a. But again, that's not a. No one plays that. It's a skipped chord. Okay. There was our little music theory. Let's go back to our song. Okay. So we're going to do our strumming exercise for this, right? Where we're doing it at 3 different speeds. The first is just going to be 1 strum per chord. That's what we're starting with, is just 1 strum per chord. Okay. So just as a reminder, we have 4 or 8 or 16, or right, you can keep multiplying beats in each measure. And so we're going to divide those up. So we're going to do 3 on the F and then 5 on the C, which adds up to 8. And we're going to do 3 on the A minor and 5 on the G, which adds up to the 8. So we're going to just sort of count it out together. So we're only going to strum once, though. Once for each chord here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to do that again, but make sure that you're doing it with me, where the F and the A minor are going down with the only strum, and the C and the G are going up with your strum for them. Okay? So here we go. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4. One more time. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2. Now we're going to play each one. So F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, one moment. Just give me some thumbs. How did that feel? Good? Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure we were together on that. So let's go ahead and do that again, and then we're going to double that speed as well. Here we go now. F2. Oh, Grandma Judy, are you about to say something?
Yeah, my question was, do you want us to start with the C going down or just continue? Because we're not. It's 1, 2, 3. Now we're going up. You want us to go up on the C?
The C and the G, I want you going up on to start, and the F and the A minor, I want you to go down on. And that's really easy, as you just pointed out. When we're strumming each of them, you're already there. And that's all that I'm trying to reinforce, is that you're already there. This is a really different, and the reason we keep emphasizing this is just a different instinct than you're used to, right? One of the things we have really intentionally tried to hammer home is that when you start a new chord, you should be going down, right? And so you all have reached the point where we're now trying to break the habits that we created on purpose. Okay, let's try this again. Let me turn original sound back on. There we go. Here we go now. Starting just one strum each. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2. Here we go now, each one. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, and F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2. Okay, now double. F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, A minor, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G. Okay, looks like some of us are having trouble getting that double speed. So let's work on that double speed for a second. It's not hard, I promise. The trick is that when we're on the regular speed, when we say a number, right? 1, 2, 3. Each number represents either a down or an up. When we're on the double speed, each number represents a down and an up. 1, right? 1, 2, 3, C, 2, 3. Does that make sense? So that's the trick right there. So let's just get our hands moving up and down, up, 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 down, up. Here we go now. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G. Okay, now just one strum. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3. Now just the first strum on each chord. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2. Bless you. 5, F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3. Faster. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G. One more time at that, and then we're going to double. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor. Okay, here we go. Double the speed of your right hand. Here we go now. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G, 2, 3. One more time. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor. Now just one strum per chord. Here we go now. F, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, A minor, 2, 3, G. And remember, we're in the key of C, so let's go ahead and end on a C chord to make us feel at home. Okay, I'm like a little out of breath, though maybe it's because I'm chanting all the numbers too at the same time. How did that feel for everyone? I really think this is a great exercise to work on.
Great exercise, hard exercise.
It brings in such musicality to your playing too. I hope one of the things that you see is that in any song, you can do this and you can switch back and forth, right? And it makes it interesting, right? Like you can play it just with the single strum. You can play it at the standard speed. You can play it at the double speed. And the variation between those is what's going to make a song interesting. I'll sometimes, by the way, if you pay attention every once in a while, I don't think I've done it in person, but when we were streaming, I would play Adon Olam to this melody. Adon Olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra. Anyways, Adon Olam fits to almost everything because it's in, you can divide the words into threes or into fours, so it fits almost every melody. Okay, other thoughts here, other comments, other anythings?
You mentioned the Adon Olam. It'd be lovely to do the Jim Goodman version of that. Are you familiar with?
Yeah. Adon Olam. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. I will write that out for next time. Very easy. You all know all the chords for that. There was another song that we all talked about doing. Someone mentioned something and said, oh, we should learn that at ukulele. I don't remember what it is. Yeah. Okay, do we want to work on our finger picking or...
To do a song, just pick any song and do that strum.
Oh,
but
great.
I don't understand how that would work.
Great. Let's go ahead and apply it to Jolene. Song where we know the chords of, we can make work. Great. I think that's a great point, Grandma Judy. Let's go ahead and apply this skill to something else. Okay, let's start with just single strums for each chord, okay? Here we go. D minor and F and C and D minor, C. Sorry, I was singing in the wrong key there. Let's try this again. D minor and F and C and D minor. I'm C, C7, back to D minor. I think the C7's better than the B flat, by the way. D minor and F and C, D minor. I'm C, C7, D minor. Okay. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Here we go. Now D minor and F and C and D minor. And C, C7, D minor. Again, D minor and F and C and D minor. I'm C, C7 to D minor. Okay, now double your right hand speed. Down, up, 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 down, up. Here we go. Now D minor and F and C and D minor. And C and C7, D minor. Pause everyone for one moment. And if you look and see how Grandma Judy is doing this, and when we moved to the double speed, you can see that she's actually doing it much more with her finger with much less arm movement. And that's exactly how you want to do it. So when we double the speed again, just look at Grandma Judy. She's doing it right.
Daniel, are we hitting, like, we do D minor starting with the downstroke? Are you having us start with the up?
No. We're on the down at the beginning of each of these chords.
Okay.
We're at the down in the beginning of each of these chords. And I don't mean to cause family drama here, but I will say that my example of using your arm a lot was you right next to Grandma Judy, Amy. So,
I think you just made Grandma Judy's day.
there you go.
Did I use my arm? Did I use my wrist? I don't know.
The way you were doing it was perfect. Where when we doubled the speed, you were really focusing on that finger going over the strings, and that's the key. Okay, let's try this again. Let's do the whole song through.
Comparing me to you, Mom, and saying you're better.
Okay, here we go.
You're a natural.
Okay. D minor and F and C and D minor and C7 to D minor, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, D minor and F and C and D minor and C7 to D minor, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, doubling the speed. Here we go. D minor and F and C and D minor and C7 to D minor. Let's try singing it. Here we go. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Half speed, down, up, Jolene, 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 Jolene. Please don't take them just because you can. Now just a single strum for each chord. Your D minor is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Sorry, I'm having to move something so I can see the words. Your smile is like an F of spring, your voice is like a D minor rain, and C cannot C7 with you. Jolene, up, down, up, down, up, down. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, C7, don't take my man. Doubling, here we go. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take them because you can. Keep going. Your beauty is BF compare, with C locks of D minor hair, with C skin, C7 of emerald green, down, up, down, up, down. Your smile is like an F of spring, your voice is soft like D minor rain, and C cannot C7 with you. Jolene, now just a single strum, here we go. Jolene, 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 Jolene. I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
So, Daniel, is there a song where, another song besides Learn to Fly, where we're going to be switching chords and playing an up when we switch chords sometimes?
So yes, great question. Let's talk about that. So in Learning to Fly, what's happening is that the chord is so. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how best to explain this without getting too complicated. Most of the songs we have played, the vast majority of the songs we've played, have 4 beats per measure. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? Sometimes you can double it. Like I'm going to call it 8 the same as 4 here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So some songs will have 3 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? You get all sorts of things that are in 3 beats per measure. Less common than 4, but still relatively common. You get some that are in 5, but that gets real rare and sounds kind of funky. Actually, the song "Take 5" is probably the most famous song in that. Dun 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 dun. No, I'm not gonna be able to sing it. But anyways, what's happening with Learning to Fly? One more piece before I say that. So for the vast majority of songs, particularly folk songs, you're going to switch chords after a full count to 4. And if you're not switching at a full count to 4, you're going to switch at something that makes arithmetic sense. So like 2, right? You'll switch in intervals of 2 or intervals of 4 or intervals of 8 or 16 or right. That's usually how you switch in one of those. So what's less common about learning to fly, and what makes it a little more interesting, and the reason we brought it as a challenge for us, is that it's taking 4 beats per measure. Let's call it 8 here. It's easier to think of it, I think, with learning to fly of 8, right? And you're having 1, 2, 3, and then switching, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then switching, and 1, 2, 3, and then switching, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it still adds up to 16 at the end, which plays with that multiples of 4 that we like, but it's changing at an unusual position. And that's why we're on an up when it changes, because generally we are strumming down on odd numbers and up on even numbers, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, right? So what's happening is 1, 2, 3, and then you're on the up for the switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to be down on the switch. 1, 2, 3, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did that make sense? Sorry, I know there was a lot of pieces that we had to build to explain that, but hopefully that was helpful just musically for folks too. Any other thoughts for today?
I guess I was just wondering if there are other songs you could think of that do that, and maybe you don't have to think of them off the top of your head right now, but maybe you could, if you've come up with one, throw it out to us and we can try to apply.
Yes, I will try. I will try to come up with one. It's uncommon enough that nothing pops in my head, but I will keep my ears peeled and call that your homework. Like when you're listening to the radio or whatever it is, watch out for that.
Okay.
Daniel, in the last minute, can you play a little about learning to fly so we can just listen full speed what it sounds like to hear that change?
Yes. Playing it with slightly different chords than you all do, right? Well, I started out down a dirty road. I started out all alone, and the sun beat down as I crossed them hills, and the town lit up as the world got still. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. I'm learning to fly, coming down is the hardest thing. So that was in the key of F that I played it. So then we get it's the same progression. So that the first chord becomes a B flat, which is the 4 chord for F.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Good to be with everyone. See y'all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you all.